Hello you guys, it's Katie and welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be trying knitting for the first time as a crocheter. So if you guys do want to see more craft, crochet, or business videos from me, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and turn on the post notification bell that way you know every single time I upload a brand new video. And with that, let's just get straight into this. So you guys heard that correctly and you read the title correctly. I am going to be trying out knitting for the first time. So I have these knitting needles that I got from Walmart, which these are actually really pretty. They're like glittery ones, and I got this set that is 5, 5.5, and 6 millimeters. So I will be trying knitting for the first time. I've been crocheting for 2 years. And this will be my first time ever trying to knit. I've never done it before. So for this particular video, the first pattern that I'm going to be trying out is this one, which is the Easy Knit Blanket pattern. It's one of the free ones you can take from Michael's. So that's where I got it from. And this is meant to be knitted with the Bernat Blanket Big yarn, but I don't have any knitting needles that are going to be big enough for that size yarn, so I am just going to be using a smaller yarn. So I'm just going to be using a smaller yarn and probably making this pattern a little bit bigger than what they say to. I'm sure there will also be some tutorials that I end up using because, like I said, I have never knit before. I don't have anyone to show me how to, so I am just going to be kind of winging it. But any tutorials that I find helpful, or if I can find this pattern online somewhere, I will link all of that for you guys, as well as the knitting needles and the yarn that I end up using. So with that, we're going to switch the camera and we're going to try this out. Okay, hello. This reminds me way too much of the 24 hours of crocheting video because this is where most of it was. But we are knitting, and I apologize if you can hear the TV. My parents are watching TV. But I have 5.5 millimeter needles because that's what this yarn suggests. And this pattern is for a blanket, but I am actually going to do it on a smaller and like longer scale to make a scarf, because I only have one of these balls and I wanted to make a scarf out of this color anyway. But yeah, we are about to start and I'm just in my bed in comfy clothes now to try and knit. So let's see how this goes. There's what it looks like so far. So, not terrible actually. I'm gonna just continue and hope this goes well. So I understood casting on really well, and I think I did sort of okay for my first time, but when I started trying to do the knit stitch with the tutorial I was watching, I got very confused very quickly. So I'm going to go back to the same lady that I was watching her tutorial for casting on, and we're going to see if I can learn the knit stitch better from her than I could the other video. So I'm actually sort of understanding now, which is good. The main thing that was hard for me to figure out is like what stitch I was actually supposed to be like bringing through and onto here. So I rewatched the tutorial quite a few times, and through just a little bit of trial and error as well, I am finally getting the hang of it. So I am now just going to continue doing knit stitches for the whole project. Actually, I may switch it up and do some purl stitches just to get some practice, but for now it's knit stitches, and I'm just going to do that for the rest of the row. And the other difficult thing I think is going to be figuring out how to switch rows. But once I get the hang of that, I think I've pretty much got all the steps down for this project, which is really exciting. Okay, so now that I have this first row, I just have to figure out how to start the next row, I guess. So I'm gonna be doing that, and then once I figure that out, I'll just be going back and forth. So I will update y'all after a little while and after I have a couple of rows done. So it's been a few hours, and this is the progress that I have so far, which when I say a few hours, I haven't been working on it the whole entire time, but I have been working on it quite a bit. So this is the progress, and I'm just going to continue on. Probably won't update y'all very much because it's just the same thing over and over again, but it definitely does not look perfect, but you know, for my first time, I think it's pretty good. So yeah, I'm just going to continue on, and that's about it. So I'll update y'all probably tomorrow or whenever I have more progress. Okay y'all, so we are actually at the desk now, and this is what I have going on. So a few things I want to say. First off is the fact that this is very wonky. I'm sure you can tell that over here it is very wonky, and then I also have some holes kind of sporadically, and I'm pretty sure I dropped some stitches on accident where those holes are. Here I am not exactly sure what I did at all. I think maybe I just wasn't making this tight enough, but actually this area is what I was doing yesterday, and this is what I have been doing today. So this has been like 2 days. I started at like 7 o'clock yesterday night, and it is like 8 o'clock tonight, and I've been doing this for a while today and a while last night. So it did take quite a while for what I have right now, but I'm actually going to be finishing off this instead of actually having it as a scarf, just because of how wonky it is. I'm just going to consider this like a swatch for my first thing I knitted, and I will be starting a new video right after this actually of my first knitting project. So I'm gonna do my best to make something and actually complete it. So y'all will see that video at some point, but this for now is going to be it. So I do need to look up a tutorial on how to finish off, and I will be doing that. If it's even called finishing off, I don't really know what it's called in knitting. But anyway, this is kind of good for like a washcloth. And a few things I will say is I did get so much better as time went along. If you can tell, this is where I started and this is where I ended. So I think it is a lot better. Obviously not perfect, but you know, I don't think anybody's perfect, but it will take time to get better. But a couple things I didn't expect is how actually easy it was for me to get used to holding the needles. I thought that it would be kind of a hard adjustment, because I remember when I was learning crocheting, it was a really hard adjustment for me to figure out how to hold crochet hooks. So it was surprising to me that it was actually pretty easy for me to figure out how to hold knitting needles. I'm not sure if that's just because I was already a crocheter beforehand, or if knitting is just a little easier. Okay, so now I'm casting off or binding off. So I'm just gonna complete this and I will come back to y'all at the end. Okay, so I have now finished off and everything, which this is what my cast off looks like. It does not look that great, but this is actually very similar to like single crochets. It got better as I got towards the end. I think here sometimes I was tightening it, so in some areas it's like tighter than others, so the cast off doesn't look that great, but I think it turned out pretty well for my first time, especially this last little end. But something that I'm really actually surprised by is how nice and stretchy this is. So I think the knit stitch is probably going to be good for me to make like clothing and stuff, because I do really like how stretchy it is. So I will be starting a new knit project right after wrapping up this video. So that'll be a whole nother video of me working on and hopefully completing my first project, which I'm not going to tell y'all what that is, but that will be a video coming up in the future. Can't promise when, because since I'm a beginner, I obviously don't know how long the project I have in mind is going to take, but I really did end up enjoying this and I do see myself continuing. I'm not sure if I will ever end up doing it more than crocheting. I still think I favor crocheting, but that's probably just because it is much easier for me since I know more so what I am doing when it comes to crocheting. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do give it a big thumbs up. If you guys do want to see more craft, crochet, or business videos from me, or maybe some other knit videos like this one if I get good at it, then make sure you guys hit the subscribe button down below and turn on the post notification bell. That way you know every single time I upload a brand new video. If you guys do want to see more from me, you can check out more videos of mine, my blog, my Etsy shop, my social medias, and my podcast. All of that is always included in the description box down below for you guys. And if you do want to check out any videos that I found helpful or the materials that I ended up using, you can do that in the description box below as well. And with all of that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye!